CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
It's that face-to-face, it's that over the phone, it's the replying directly to emails. That's how we did this.
Tonight on CTV News, the race is run. Edmonton has a new mayor-elect. Good evening and thanks for joining us. We have a new mayor-elect here in Edmonton. Andrew Knack will lead the city for the next 4 years. Knack's main rival, Tim Cartmel, conceded late this afternoon. The mayor-elect made his victory speech this afternoon, flanked by his parents, Richard and Margaret.
Be in front of Edmontonians in as many different ways as possible, but it's that face-to-face, it's that over the phone, it's the replying directly to emails. That's how we did this, and it was such an incredible team effort.
We don't know the final numbers, but there was a major fundraising disparity between Knack and his main rival, Cartmel, who raised at least 5 times as much money as Knack. The new mayor says his priority is to sit down with the new council as soon as possible to discuss a shared vision to tackle major issues like safety, affordability, and keeping up with population growth. Knack also pledges to work with the province to find common ground, but says he'll be more outspoken about issues than Amarjeet Sohi was if he feels that Edmontonians aren't being heard. Fellow incumbent Michael Jantz appeared to have secured his own seat on council in Ward Papasteo. Both he and Knack say Edmontonians sent a message to the province in this election.
It was a rejection of the parties. It was a rejection of the big money. I think it was a rejection of Danielle Smith and the UCP. I think people saw this as a way that the Premier was trying to get her tentacles into Edmonton, and just like she's been messing with the teachers and messing with healthcare, people did not want her messing with City Hall.
In his concession statement, Tim Cartmel thanked his own campaign team and all of his Better Edmonton candidates, adding, "We brought forward ideas rooted in common sense, accountability, and collaboration. Believe city politics could be better, and we did our best to stop the division on council." He went on to congratulate Knack on his victory. Now it appears that many voters weren't looking for much change when it comes to our city's council race. All but 3 of the 12 wards had incumbents running, and most have been re-elected. Erin Rutherford will retain her seat in Ward Anurnak, as well as Aaron Paquette in Ward Dene, Karen Tang in Garaheo, Ashley Salvador in Ward Métis, Ward O'Damons and Stevenson, the previously mentioned Michael Jantz in Papasteo, Joanne Wright in Spomitapi, and Principe in Ward Tustawiniwak. The city expects to have official election results available by noon on Friday. Calgary also has a new mayor-elect tonight. Jeremy Farkas won by a razor-thin margin.
I'm committed to working with this new council to listen genuinely to Calgarians and ensure that for the next 4 years they see their voices reflected in the decisions that we make.
Farkas is the first candidate to defeat an incumbent mayor in Calgary since 1980 when Ralph Klein did it. Farkas received 91,068 votes, just 584 votes ahead of runner-up Sonia Sharp. There is a call for a recount coming from Sharp. Jody Gondek finished in third with more than 71,000 votes. One day after Edmontonians went to the polls, many are venting their frustration over the process. Some experts agree, saying long wait times and delayed results are unacceptable. Now, what should be done about it? Well, that all depends on who you ask. CTV's Connor Hogg has more.
At many polling stations in Edmonton, the lines were long. And one day later, results are significantly slower than what many are used to. It's a process voters and candidates agree needs to change.
A little frustrating that it took them till 7:30 to kind of get everybody pointing in the right direction.
Last fall, the provincial government banned machines to count ballots. All municipalities had to count by hand. In a statement, Edmonton Elections says multiple factors impacted both voting and counting of ballots. It lists a labor shortage, power outages, and other technology issues.
When you see voter turnout as low as it is, and then to see our election system can't even accommodate low voter turnout. This is a democratic crisis.
Pollster and political commentator Janet Brown says the delays could discourage people from voting in the future. She says blame should fall on both levels of government.
At this point, without more information, I'm inclined to be mad at the cities over the collection, and I'm inclined to be mad at the province over the counting.
We see all across Canada Canada and increasingly across the Western jurisdictions, a group of people that want to make sure that we don't have questions in terms of whether or not the vote was legitimate.
Provincial Minister of Municipal Affairs Dan Williams says hand-counted ballots are the gold standard of elections at every level of government, and that the province wants to work with municipalities to improve the process.
I think that municipal officials running these elections are professionals, and where we need to tweak the process to make sure that they understand what's asked of them in advance, to make sure that they don't have labor shortages, to make sure that they're there to meet the requirements set out in law over a year in advance for them.
Alberta municipalities called for a review of the election process Tuesday. Williams says that the province will be conducting its own review, with additional legislation a possibility. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
A day after announcing it would soon be limiting who can and can't run in provincial elections, the province has clarified only small clerical changes are coming. An upcoming bill will soon require more signatures for candidate nominations from 25 to at least 50, according to the Justice Minister. The bill will also prohibit people from signing more than one nomination paper. Mickey Amory says the legislation is about protecting election integrity and won't limit who can and can't run as long as they meet the signature criteria. The move follows controversy over long ballot initiatives during the federal election and a recent Alberta by-election.
The purpose of a good election is to have candidates who take the position seriously, who are not using the process of our election rules and our election laws to take advantage of them and create protests and havoc and confusion. 100 signatures is not a strict or difficult requirement for anybody seriously looking to run for political office.
The legislation will be introduced early in the upcoming fall session. The government House leader isn't saying if or when the province will use back-to-work legislation to end the teachers' strike.
I'm not going to wade into hypothetical waters at the moment. Again, if necessary, we'll do what is required to get kids back in the classroom. But for the moment, I wouldn't have anything else to comment on it.
The House leader is responsible for moving legislation through the debate process. He says nothing has been finalized, with the House set to return this week with Thursday's speech from the throne. Last week, Premier Danielle Smith said teachers can expect back-to-work legislation soon because the walkout is causing irreparable harm to students. Negotiations are currently at a standstill with the teachers and province, divided over wages, working conditions, and overcrowded classrooms. A Leduc man charged in June with child pornography and luring is now facing an additional 86 charges. This comes as 23 more victims have come forward to police. CTV's Merrick Takash reports.
Operation Extraction, as this investigation has been named, is believed to be one of the largest investigations of its kind in Alberta.
And possibly one of the largest in Canada, involving 29 girls from the Leduc area and beyond.
I want to commend all of our complainants that have come forward. This is no small feat because we are talking about complainants that are aged from 12 to 19.
In June, police say 6 girls reported being contacted by a man through Snapchat and sexually assaulted and exploited in person. Later that month, police arrested Campbell Ferguson and laid 27 charges. Since then, 23 more girls have come forward and 86 more charges have been laid against Ferguson.
He has remained in custody on those original 27 charges to this date. So when we're adding charges at total 113, it would be my hope and my expectation that he does not receive bail.
People we spoke with in Leduc today say the news is shocking, but also know it's not unique to their city.
Well, it's not just happening in Leduc, it's happening everywhere. It's in other small communities too. They all just, oh, well, I live in a small town. Nobody's going to know it's me.
Investigators echo that sentiment.
Ferguson lived in Leduc. This is not a Leduc issue. This is, it is a worldwide issue.
Police believe there may be other victims and want them to know they will be heard.
There are probably girls there who think this is my fault. I made a decision and this was my fault, not knowing that the level of manipulation and coercion was so high. And to them, I would say, exactly what has been said to the ones that are coming forward. Give us an opportunity to help you.
Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Leduc.
Alberta's police watchdog has cleared multiple officers who fired at a man at the Sherwood Park RCMP detachment earlier this year. In late July, RCMP officers saw a man walking around the detachment parking lot with what appeared to be a gun. 4 officers shot at the man, injuring him. It was later determined he was holding a BB gun. The Alberta Serious Incident Response Team released its report into the shooting today. It found the man pointed the fake gun at officers and later told investigators that he wanted to be shot. ACERT concluded that officers responded to the threat reasonably. 3 men have been charged with arson after a pair of southeast Edmonton homes were badly damaged by a fire started by fireworks. CTV's Sacha Pietramola reports.
Travis Kammerer and his wife spent their morning at what was their home.
Car garage. There's some holes in the roof. There's a hole in my daughter's bedroom roof.
The vehicle in the garage gone. Monday night, fireworks were set off in the neighborhood, something Kammerer had worried about in the past.
There's signs all over our neighborhood, all over the neighborhood about fireworks, because every year it's really bad.
He says this is the barrage that hit his home, setting it on fire.
My daughter came out of her room saying there was an orange glow in the backyard. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
The fire spread quickly, severely damaging the garage and house. A neighboring home was also damaged.
Use your head. Use your head. Fireworks are like, what's a firework? Use it, goes off, and then it's done. Now my house is gone.
Last week, the city of Edmonton reminded people of its firework regulations. A permit is needed, and only certified professionals can legally set them off.
Your fireworks are going off in the neighborhood. It has to stop.
No one was injured in the fire. 3 adult males were charged with arson for recklessly causing damage by fire or explosion. Sasha Pietramola, CTV News, Edmonton.
An early morning fire in central Edmonton has destroyed a house that was under construction. Edmonton Fire says trucks responded just before 1 this morning and were able to bring the flames under control by about 2:30. Neighboring homes were evacuated as a precaution. EFRS says no one was hurt, but other houses were damaged. As of now, Edmonton police aren't involved in the investigation. Jasper National Park is still learning from the unprecedented wildfire that ripped through the town last summer. 2 reports were released today. The first was a forensic investigation into the fire itself. It looked at the impacts of drought, topography, the pine beetle outbreak, and changing climate. Officials say it highlighted the fire risk reduction measures done in the decades leading up to the fire, which played a significant role in their ability to save 70% of the town. The second report looked at the fire behavior in the town site itself. It suggested that combustible roof material and the proximity of homes were factors in the spread.
Moving forward, this will contribute to a better understanding of our rebuilding needs in town, the fuel treatment around town and the fire smarting in town. They are important, and they played a significant role in contributing to lessening the impact of last year's events. So we need to further those efforts. We need to continue on that path.
Further fire risk reduction measures are in the works. Park officials say the lessons learned from Jasper's wildfire reports are helpful in other communities right across our country. Just ahead, homeward bound, we bring you the story of an adventurous rescue dog. Plus, top of the hops, an Alberta brewery wins yet another award.
It's always exciting when you see your brewery placing well among everyone else out there.
Good evening, folks. Warm and windy today. We get up to 14 degrees here in Edmonton. Gusts were about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, though, through most of the afternoon. And tomorrow afternoon, sunny, gusty once again, and again into the mid-teens. Now, by Friday, we'll be close to 20. But there's a change for the weekend. Those details in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. A Central Alberta brewer says it's the most awarded brewery in our country. Blind Man Brewery has won many awards provincially, nationally, and internationally. The brewery says its Dwarf Cherry Sour is the most awarded beer in the country. It received bronze for Best in Show at the Alberta Beer Awards earlier this month.
Because there's a ton of great competition across the country, so it's always exciting when you see your brewery placing well among everyone else out there. Kind of getting those awards at home from Alberta maybe feels sometimes a little bit more special because you're like, yeah, I'm winning here.
And we're kind of humbly bragging about that. So we're very proud with the beers that we're putting out, and it's really cool that they're getting acknowledged in that way.
Blind Man has even won some fun awards, like the best beer to drink in the shower. Who knew? A rescue dog has beaten the odds twice after spending 9 days alone outside. CTV's St. John Alexander has more on the pup's second rescue and the determined humans who brought him home.
Tommy is at times spooked, but he's a smart pup. And when the 8-month-old landed in Vancouver after a long flight from South Korea, he somehow broke free and took off.
That's good.
Enter Parker and Julia from Pet Searchers Canada, the crack team behind Operation Find Tommy.
Yeah, he's about 20 pounds, so he's a tiny boy.
The dangers can't be understated. People, planes, cars, and coyotes. Remember, he's a puppy, so his picture was posted everywhere. Everyone on the lookout.
He had a little harness on, a little scarf he was lost with, and so he was adorable.
The hours grew longer, days passed, and he was being spotted at UPS, by airport officials, fuel engineers, but Tommy would always run.
Yeah, he was being seen, but every time he would be seen, he would move areas, so that's what made it tricky.
Bit by bit, pet searchers seemed to figure out his favorite spots, set up more trail cameras, and traps with freshly cooked chicken. Now here's Tommy taking the bait, but he wasn't about to be caught.
He came by, actually went halfway in my trap, backed out, and then he left.
More traps, more sightings, more chicken, but no puppy. And it's now been more than a week.
For 9 days, we're still hopeful, but are getting more and more concerned.
That's when the team changed the menu. Hot dogs would be served too. That night, ever so cautiously, Tommy was back and feasted.
Hi, Tommy.
He was cold and shaking.
Hi, buddy.
But they finally found Tommy right across the street from the airport runway.
You're safe, buddy.
The puppy was taken indoors where he couldn't get away, and the moment they opened the cage, he curled up with Julia and Parker.
We just want him happy and safe, and he's such a sweet boy that we're really happy with the outcome.
We bet he is too, now living the life, probably eating more hot dogs in Whistler. St. John Alexander, CTV News, Vancouver.
A new comedy festival is combining diversity, inclusion, and laughter. Edmonton-based comedian Sterling Scott cut his comedy teeth on Canada's Got Talent back in 2024. He's taping a special this week at Color Me Comedy Festival. The festival also includes specialty shows such as Color Me Hilarious, featuring female comics, and Color Me Bastos, highlighting Filipino comedians. Scott says the goal is to provide exposure to performers who might not get it through traditional channels.
We're letting you see the stars we have in our city and then putting them out to the world by using our funds to film and produce TV-level performances that which each entertainer could then use to promote themselves in festivals, YouTube, social media, so that they can grow their audience as well.
The festival runs Thursday through Saturday across multiple venues, including the Orange Hub. For more information, head to ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Click on news links. After the break, swinging a drive, one baseball fan is relishing his big catch from the Blue Jays Game 7 ALCS win.
Other people trying to get it, propelled it up, and then with the offhand, I scooped it.
Coming up Wednesday on Your Morning, we help you prepare for spooky season, costume inspiration, your best decorations, and all the latest contests in our ultimate trick-or-treat candy bracket.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by Superheroes and Blockbusters with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Welcome back. 3 degrees this morning. Will probably be a degree or two below zero tomorrow morning. And then 14 for a daytime high today. You can see that's 4 degrees above average. Tomorrow about 15. And then I have 16 and 18 in the forecast for daytime highs Thursday and Friday. But that's a little on the conservative side. We could even be a couple of degrees warmer than that both those days. Clear skies overnight and through tomorrow morning. In fact, looks like the bulk of the day tomorrow. Most of the province is looking at mainly sunny skies. We'll start to see some increasing cloud, though, across the northwest tomorrow afternoon. Could see a few scattered showers. It is going to be really scattered. Some increasing cloud late tomorrow, and then possibly a little bit of cloud cover to start the day Thursday. But for most of the day Thursday, you have mainly sunny skies. And after some gusty wind tomorrow afternoon, I think the wind is going to die down for Thursday and Friday. Watch your temperatures. In the yellow zone, into the mid-teens today, mid-teens again tomorrow. We start to see some warmer air poking in from the southeast, and by Friday, that pushes far enough north to roll into the Edmonton area. Here's your cool down for the weekend, though. We've got some rain in the forecast. Especially at this point, Sunday looks more likely than Saturday, but really sort of late Saturday could be some showers, either that or midday to the afternoon hours on Sunday. So the timing on the precipitation for this weekend still up in the air. -3 in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, about -4, -5 in the Peace Country. Same goes for Red Deer. It'll be a degree or two below zero in the city. Outside the city, -4 or -5 tomorrow morning. About 9 in Fort McMurray, but closer to 12 or 13 here for Lac La Biche, Cold Lake. Some sunshine through those areas. There's your increase in cloud across the northwest tomorrow afternoon. Red Deer gets to around 14 and highs of 12 in Jasper and Lloydminster. Gusty tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours, 30 to 40 kilometer per hour gusts, but 15 degrees is above average by several degrees. 16 and 18 for Thursday, Friday. Again, maybe even a bit warmer than that. And then a cool down through the weekend that lingers through all of next week. About 11 with some increase in cloud Saturday. 6 or 7 for highs Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And it looks like we'll be in that 5 to 10 degree range right through to Halloween. That is your forecast.
The Toronto Blue Jays are headed to the World Series for the first time in over 3 decades. Well, last night's game was special for fans all across our country. It was extra special for one fan who happened to be in the right place at the right time. CTV's Alison Hurst explains.
With that crack of the bat, George Springer's home run was launched into Blue Jays history, and a piece of it caught by Michael Angeletti, who scrambled to get his glove on.
I only got it in like this, so I couldn't make the squeeze. It went into my glove first, but I couldn't squeeze it, and other people trying to get it propelled it up, and then with the offhand, I scooped it.
And he says he held on.
I held it so I could have squeezed the oil out of this ball.
Angeletti says he sort of blacked out, only coming to when someone behind him ruffled his hair.
When it brought me back to where I was and the enormity of the moment for Toronto and the city and the lead and just boom. In a moment.
A moment that was caught by friends and family across the country.
I was glued to the TV, and then somebody from Montreal says, was that your son who caught the ball? I said, no, I don't know.
Renzo Angeletti called his son immediately to confirm he had in fact caught the Springer dinger.
I couldn't have imagined with 45,000 people there, and he didn't have tickets, and he bought one single ticket. What were the odds?
After that incredible catch, Angeletti says he secured the ball in his glove with his hairband.
I've dropped a ball or two in my life, let me tell you, okay? No way I was dropping this one.
Angeletti waited after the game, hoping to see the player whose name is not only etched on the back of his jersey, but now in Jays history.
He never showed, and I didn't want to make a deal or pass it off to some staffer and leave, so I just decided to hold on to it.
As for what he's going to do with it?
No official plan. The plan is the ride. I was tired of just passively watching these Jay games on my couch. I wanted to feel something real, and boy, did I ever.
Something he'll never forget. Alison Hurst, CTV News.
Absolutely incredible. Holding on to a piece of Jays history that becomes even bigger if they win it all. Now, that's all from us on this Tuesday. Thanks for wrapping up your day with us on CTV Edmonton. We'll see you back here same time, same place tomorrow night. Until then, take care and bye for now.